love with a hero. I'm in love with the one who will.
Hello, comic book people of the world. It is the first comic book day of the year 2018. Let's see what I got this week. First is Batman issue number 38, The Origin of Bruce Wayne. That's a very misleading title because it's not really the Bruce Wayne we all know, it's a different Bruce Wayne. We're introduced to a child who went through a similar circumstance as what Bruce Wayne went through when his parents were killed. Only difference is he took a much darker path. This is a really interesting issue. The SnagglePuss Chronicles, issue number 1. This issue was much darker than what I was expecting it to be. It's not like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons by a long shot. Snagglepuss is a closeted character, but he's also an actor living in a world where there's like animal, humanoid creatures living together in harmony. But it isn't so progressive where gay people are accepted because he is in the closet. It isn't the greatest first issue I've ever read, but it is a very different take from what I was expecting. Batman and the Signal, issue number 1 of 3. The character of Duke Thomas, who used to be part of the We Are Robin series, has now got his own superhero persona known as the Signal. In the past year, he hasn't really done too much except be in the background and maybe fill in for the role of Tim Drake when Tim Drake was in limbo. This mini-series is starting to show what he can really do. I know a lot of people really hate his costume, and I gotta admit immediately I think of Wolverine as soon as I see it. But I do feel like this is a solid first issue, and he's not a Robin. He's standing out on his own as his own superhero. The Walking Dead, issue number 175, New World Order, part 1 of 6. Michonne is meeting up with a new group of people that are much more evolved in terms of some of the past civilizations and other groups of people that her and Rick have met in the past. And it looks as though they may have their act together, but then again, we all know that looks can be deceiving. But what's interesting about this is the very last page in this issue, which I won't spoil it, but still it is kind of big. Phoenix Resurrection, issue number 2, The Return of Jean Grey. It seems as though Jean is living in her own Phoenix heaven, purgatory type of dimension, but she's not alone. She has several other X-members that have also passed on. This could all just be completely made up, or maybe there's some sort of tear in the fabric of reality. It's not exactly sure at this point. We don't know whether or not she's going to be able to bring these characters back with her when she returns, or whether or not something else completely different is going to happen. So far though, I am liking the series. Spider-Man issue number 236, The Sinister Six Reborn. This is being built up for a couple issues, with Spider-Man Miles Morales has taken on the Sinister Six in this issue. But the big revelation is that they have their own evil Spider-Man that's part of their team. In fact, he's the leader, but he happens to be Aaron Davis, who is Miles Morales' uncle, who's also supposed to be dead, but you know what? No one is really dead in comic book universes, so it is a huge shocker for poor Miles. Finally, I read Superman issue number 38, The SuperSons of Tomorrow, part 4. Adult Tim Drake has been chasing down Jonathan Kent, Superboy, and has pitted the Teen Titans against each other, and has unintentionally brought back his Titan teammates from the future. This has really been a topsy-turvy storyline. I mean, I'm really happy with the idea of bringing back Connor Kent, Cassie Sandsmark, and Bart Allen, but it's a different version of them, and it's a version of them from the future. So I have absolutely no idea how this is going to play out into the whole Rebirth storyline, but they are currently in this DC timeline as of now. Whether or not Connor Kent is going to go up to Superman and say, hey, you remember me? No one really knows that. I do have to say it is pretty cool seeing adult Tim Drake being pulled into Hypertime and seeing the DC universe before the New 52 took place. But that is my comic load for this week. I also read Iceman issue number 9, but I'll talk about that in a separate video. What did you guys read? Leave comments down below and let me know. So thank you guys for watching me in this first video of the new year. Hopefully there'll be many more to come. Check out my Patreon site, check out my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, and I'll see you guys later.
He's a prominent figure.
Now that Tim Drake is being pulled into time and everything, I'm curious as to whether or not he's going to find out why Connor Kent is not part of the Rebirth universe in DC. That would be really interesting if that's his new mission.